I don't say I'm very Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'd like to hear from someone on this stage. A volunteer. If I volunteer you.
Ladha, yeah. I'm scamming guys.
Still hunting for responses? No, sir. What would be your last name?
I don't think I have a last name. If you're about to die, I don't think I have a last
And I probably had from the last response here. So, Chef, please.
No. Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chris Burton. I'm head of the culinary department here. And everybody will know my aversion to ugali. I'm sorry, Kenyans. You're taking it disrespectfully. So my last meal, because I'm going to die, would be ugali. Sorry.
I think Chef Chris is ashamed to admit that we'll be saving the best for last. So welcome to BAC. My name is Tim, Head Marketing and Admissions and Partnerships at BAC. Welcome to campus. Welcome to Ladha, Afrika. I hope this 1 hour session will be as exciting as we envision it to be. And to start off, before I introduce two of my colleagues, just like to share a little bit about who we are and what we do. As one very short slide. So basically, welcome to BOM, and we are established as part of one of Red Cross commercial entities, and we've been in existence since 2015. Passionate about growing talent in the hospitality space, but we're also into consulting and training as well as research. Beyond that, of course, we exist as part of 4 of our very big partners. I can see the BOM hotels represented. I'm not sure if B Plus is represented here. And of course, Switch Media, who are one of our media partners present today. You can see them taking a few photos of live streaming today afternoon. And why do we exist? Basically to support the work of the humanitarian arm of the Kenya Red Cross. But really here beyond this is to highlight African cuisine. So without ado, I'd like to introduce 2 of my very amazing colleagues in culinary and F&B. Mr. Royce Ochuru, who's our F&B service manager, and Chef Ladha, who will somewhat showcase why we're here, what the next week entails, what you need to look forward to, and I hope that you find this opportunity a bit exciting, a bit creative. Let it be an opportunity for you to network. I can see some of you are starting making friends. I hope that time we're getting back to this space on Friday, the sitting arrangement will be slightly different. So thank you. I'll hand over to Alois.
So, good afternoon, everyone. I can't see Chef Ladha, she's my twin, so I don't seem to see her. Okay, so who are we? This is Boma International Hospitality College, and we are a premier African hub for hospitality and culinary arts training, research and consultancy, and we are an initiative of the Kenya Red Cross Society, whom we all know the works of the Kenya Red Cross in this country and beyond borders. So, BAC ideally does its activities to support the works of the Kenya Red Cross. And what is on screens right now is just a summary of what BAC does, and I believe you have history of what Kenya Red Cross has been doing. So, this is not just a competition. This is a community. It's community competition, and for those of us who are here, ideally, we haven't come to win really. Yes, it's a competition, but it's a community. It's about networking, getting to know each other, and just get to see how best do we create synergy and cohesion amongst ourselves, and I'm sure our director will talk more about that synergy and cohesion. So, so we invite you to create what we call a celebration of Africa's rich culinary heritage by bringing together talented chefs, passionate F&B enthusiasts and hoteliers, and ideally it is for us to collectively create an experience that is unforgettable, honoring the tradition in Africa, foster innovation, and promote cultural appreciation. So from fusion dishes to sustainable practices, and ideally in the whole competition, we actually then have a sustainable award, and most of this is going to be judged. That is where the award is going. And just to finish, before Chef Lena says something, we're talking about Africa in terms of rich flavors from diverse spices, wild game meat, and evolving creative street food culture. And that places Africa ahead of the rest. So with over 54 countries and over 3,000 ethnic groups, we collectively envision creating a platform to celebrate the evolution of African cuisine as a testament to the resilience, adaptability, and creativity of the continent. So Shafela, you want to share that again?
Yeah. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Like you heard, my name is Shafela, also coordinator with Ms. Alois. But mine is going to be very interactive as well. I want to ask a question. I think this one I just take a random institution. Let me go to Masile Muliro. Masile Muliro, where are we at? Good. Tim? So with African cuisine, which is the best meal ever cooked in for African cuisine?
The competition is more of tradition. I may say local vegetable banana.
Very good. Thank you. A round of applause to the young man. Very good. I think I'll take one more. Thank you very much. I'll take one more from Technical University. Where are we at? Favorite meal?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Marianne. My favorite meal is chapati and chicken, kienyeji chicken to be specific.
Good. They're all done. Nice. Good. Thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is all about African cuisine, celebrating African cuisine. So, what is this idea? We are creating gourmet creations from vegetarian amuse bouches to mystery chip card challenges to Afro-fused drinks. And the drinks, these ones, they will come from the F&B side. And what we expect is to showcase skill in and out of the kitchen with emphasis to blending of flavor. Flavor is very important. Very, very important. Then we are looking at authenticity, originality, sustainable practices, and the use of very authentic ingredients. Again, we specifically set this competition to be in line with the World Chefs Day, and this will run from, ideally we are starting today. We finish on Friday with the Chef Cups overall on Friday with the hotels participating. And again, that is the day we expect to do a closing and award ceremony. So that is my remarks. I will give my colleague also to speak on the awards, what we expect.
Okay, so Dr. Lee will introduce the schools and institutions that are here just to recognize all of you. But as he prepares for that, we've got a silver line awards to be won. So we've got a winner, second place and third place in terms of diamond, gold, and silver. And this is going to be in the production side
Wine Spirit Education Trust at level 1 for both industry and institutions. And then we've got a Chef Barnes Award. Chef Barnes is one of our judges. She introduced, so she also has an award with the best. I'm sure our director will talk more about her. And then we've got the late Professor Magoha Award. This idea actually came from him. Our director will talk more about that. And then we've got the Design Award and the Mentor Award. So before Shekena goes, I wish that you introduce the judges from culinary.
Okay, for the judges in culinary, judges, please, I request you to stand up, our esteemed judges, please. So I will introduce our lead judge, Chef Sean, from Switzerland, our sisters who in Vietnam. Then we have Chef Anna Bell from Mauritius. Then Chef Banis. Chef Banis. From, yes, you're from Kenya, but again, you're from Kenya. You mind telling us something? Small?
Yes, I'm from Kenya, but I'm a sports chef as well. So if you have any support from Arsenal or Real Madrid, hi guys.
Then we have Chef, he's chef, but the GM of Tri Hotels. Chef Mike, should I call the chef? Yes. Chef Chris is also a boss head of culinary arts program and also one of the judges for the hotel criteria. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, Mr. Alex will introduce for the F&B.
Okay, sure. So F&B judges, please be standing. So they'll be led by David Godam. He's a consultant in hospitality. They'll be assisted by Wajiru Muredi, who sent her apologies, but Wajiru Muredi is coming on board as a wine expert, and she's going to be here for both the institution and industry, specifically for the wine competition. And like I've said, the wine competition has a scholarship. And then Hilary Okello, there he is the F&B manager also. And to balance it out, the lady is Agnes Namu, who is also a consultant in hospitality. Great, thank you very much. Be seated. So before I go through the program for tomorrow, I wish to welcome our Head of Research and Business, Innovation and Business, Dr. Kini, to introduce the institutions.
Thank you, Alex. Today is not a competition. It's a celebration of young people taking them through the African journey. And this is our guest today. Without following the order, I want to introduce the first school that confirmed was Strathmore University, represented by Claire O'Neill, Service, and Chartered Committee. Production very. The member initially, you are Pauline Kumbi. That's the member, Pauline. Number 2, Rocky Bodeni, Prosthetic and Cutting College, represented by Margaret O'Hara, Production. Then we have the Private Angel Service Department. Thank you. The name is Elizabeth Pauline. Thank you. We have a technical investor trainer, represented by Nina Bagui, Food Production. We have Marianne Maniki, Food and Service. The members we have Hopkins Junior and Caroline College. Thank you. Stacy, Favorite is Stacy? Stacy, okay? Congrats, and student money service. So, she's not here, and the Florence job. We have Beverly Imani, Korea, congrats. Felix Delano, Madrid, Public Service, member of the program member. Thank you. We have Daniel Olimani, congrats. And we have James Anna Obama, member of the George Hotel. He has not arrived, but he's on the way. I was here with Zanita Chapa, congrats. And we have Welcome to Women Service, member of every Next, we have Erwin Togo, congrats. Erwin Baker Service, membered by Erwin Opolo. Geoffrey Alula, congrats. Master of Service, membered by Dr. Okoji. BSc, we have Sharon, congrats. Amani Service, membered by Alois, Onjuru, and Lama Mabele. Yes, we have Alice Melima, congrats. We have Shama Kendi Service, membered by Dr. Mary Lucia. We have Mary congrats. Cherokos and Service, membered by Dr. Mary Murugi. Okay. We have the Secretary, National Polytechnic. We have Siri Amaka and Christus Hijaga, membered by Victor Isombi and Collins Yellow. Although National Polytechnic, we are very available. Service, Elvis Kipkovic, congrats. Membered by Albert Ogola, Brian Daniel, and Ingrid Rotich. First, National Polytechnic, Moses Mohammed, congrats. Veronica Achen, Service, membered by Professor Khalil. Thank you. National Polytechnic, Learn Brand. Kelvin Manani, congrats. And the member, okay, so the other way. Finally, we have Kenya National Polytechnic, Kisumu National Polytechnic, sorry, Ezra Sadia, Okof, Arts, Diana Kadai Service, membered by Joy Adwa. Just give a chance, you will be receiving late participants. Any participants who have left out? Any member who might have walked in? Any other member from an institution that might have left out? Thank you. So today we present to you 18 institutions that will be participating in this kind of competition. Welcome and all the best. Thank you.
Thanks, Daktari. I'll quickly go through the industry members. They really have another session on Thursday, and some of them may not be here. So that's Tribe Hotel, representatives from Tribe. Close the judge, and you'll be doing from Tribe. Yeah, where are you? Please stand and wave. Nice. Great. Representatives from KPC. Tamarind Tree, or Tamarind is a group. Sarovar. Ethiopian Skylight Hotel will be joining us from Wednesday, so they're not here. Homa Hotel. And Fairmont, the Norfolk. Fairmont, the Norfolk. Thank you. Also take this time to recognize our sponsors, starting with Tourism Fund. That's great. I'm sure our director will go through the rest of the other names. Students will be having a master class 1, courtesy of Davis with Rachel. Rachel, you can just wave. There she is. She'll be taking you through the master class. And then tomorrow we'll have module 1 for institutions, both cooking and restaurant. On Wednesday we'll have module 2, cooking and restaurant for service. Thursday we'll have module 3 for institutions, state, cooking and restaurant. And on Friday we expect to have institutions for module 4, cooking and restaurant. And the end will be the award ceremony. And I'm sure our director will talk more about the
Thank you, Alice. Thank you, Chef Lena. As we go through the program, I want you to remember something out of the last conversation we had. So I hope you're paying attention to the slides, because they come bearing gifts. Okay. My next guest is our director, Dr. Abbas Kule. As I introduce him and he comes on stage, for the last close to more than 15 years, he's been very passionate about hospitality. In 2015, together with one of Kenya's oldest seasoned hoteliers, Honorable Loom, and a couple of other partners, we formed Bombo International Hospitality College. Being the youngest kid on the block for most of the institutions mentioned here, we've always been passionate about not just providing education, not just providing incredible pathways for our alumni, but we've always wanted to create impact in society. So what we're creating here today is not just an initiative that was challenged us by, of course, the late Professor Magoa, but something that we're passionate about. So as we think about this week and as we think about what we're trying to create, we've always never thought about Kenya as a culinary destination. If you think about Africa and you think about West Africa, you know the Jollof Wars of Nigeria and Ghana, right? What do you think they think about when they think about Kenya? Right? We say nyama choma, we say ugali, but can we actually take it to a different level? And I know there are people who are doing some incredible work. I can see Mike. I know I've eaten at Tribe a couple of times, and I've seen what you guys do at the restaurant. But what else can we create? So over these next 4 days, we want to rewrite the perception of Kenya just being about the big five, about being Maasais and jumping and singing. Is there something that we can rewrite about our culinary experiences? So join me as we welcome Dr. Abbas Kule to stage.
Thank you, Tim. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and students. So I guess the important thing was to get here, and we are all here. And without following protocols, I just want to recognize our sponsors who have agreed to walk the journey with us, but more importantly, it is you, the institutions, the schools, the colleges, the universities, and the hotels who are actually, who have made this day for us. Because without you, there will be no business here. So the fact that you could come from all those hundreds of miles or kilometers where you came from, we cannot thank you enough. But as Tim said, the journey of BIHC started in 2015. In 2015, there were two Swiss gentlemen who were looking for opportunity to set up a school here in Kenya. So they went to Utalii, they went to IHMI, they went to Top Chef, they went to many places with a view of wanting to start a hospitality school. And the then Swiss ambassador was a good friend of mine, Jacques Pitulu, told them to go and see a crazy person at the Red Cross. By then I was working for Kenya Red Cross. So they did come and see me and ask me if I'd be interested, number one, either to partner with a Top Chef who was looking for an investor, or we want to partner with Utalii, or, well, they knew also IHMI because it's an old school. And they asked me what was my thinking. And by then we had just started the idea of setting up our own school. Some years ago, we set up the Boma hotels in this complex. When we were busy recruiting staff, we had to poach them from many hotels around the city of Nairobi and some from around the country. And when we brought them here, those who came from Sarova hotels, from Serena, from Alliance, from I don't know what groups of hotels, putting them together and building a new culture wasn't very easy. So the then managing director of the hotel, a gentleman called Mugo Mariga, told me, old man, the best thing is, start up your own school to build your own culture if you want to have the Boma culture. Because we were talking about Boma. Boma in Swahili, Sean, is a homestead. Okay, it's an idea of a homestead, so we wanted to have a hotel in this environment. There's a big government parastatal called Bomas of Kenya, which that was set up over 60 years ago by the government of Kenya through the Ministry of Tourism to look at the Kenyan culture and diversification of the same. So, but when we looked for a name, the name Boma came to us. And that's what we had. So setting up a culture wasn't easy. So he told me, go set up a school. So as Tim said, with a colleague of mine called Honorable Olum, we said, okay, we'll set up a school. We didn't know what we were getting into, and we had the idea to just go ahead and set it up. So we got a consultant who came round, gave us some ideas, and the next thing we told him, go ahead and set up this school. So the rest is history. The school was set up within few months. Luckily, and you'll tour the facility when you go to where we started, from the prefabs to where we are now, it's been a huge journey of transformation over the last 9 years. It's all about self-belief. So we did start this school in May of 2015, and like I said, the rest is history with 37 students as the initial intake. Now we have 3 intakes in a year, and in January, May, and September, we are close to about 700 students annually, together with those who have gone out for internship. We are a college or school of about 1,000 students, and today we're very happy that the numbers keep on rising. Why this competition? And like also Tim said, in 2020 was the year of COVID, and we were really caught flat-footed. But within 1 week of the government closing all colleges and universities and schools and all learning institutions, within 1 week we were able to restart the school by going online. So we've learned how to reform and transform and innovate ourselves in what we do. So we started the school immediately within 1 week, and we didn't have much of a loss. I know Chef Chris, Lena, and the others who are now teaching the practicals had a challenge, but because we also run a TV station called Switch TV, we were able to record classes, over 50 lectures that were done, and they were being shown, and the students, we helped them in getting internet through Safaricom and laptops at a cheaper rate from second-hand dealers on that one, and we were able to continue with our studies even during the COVID period. That made us learn also on our feet. So when recently, even when there were the insecurity of the Gen Zs, the days schools were closed, we were able to continue and do online education so that our education is not affected. So it's how we learn to be able to be resourceful. So in 2020 during COVID, one of the big guests that we had visiting us twice, what we call our European kitchen, was opened by Professor George Magoha, the late Magoha, who was the Minister of Education, but he also came back in November also to be our chief guest during the graduation. And during the graduation, being the visionary leader he was, and being that person who was not afraid to call a spade, he looked at our curriculum and what we do and the education that we do, and one of his advice was, for your culinary arts students, they don't need to get master's degree or PhD. They need to go and innovate in these kitchens. And he says, as someone who's widely traveled around the world, I get tired of being told European cuisine, Indian cuisine, Chinese cuisine, and this cuisine. But within Africa, why are we not proud of our own cuisine, or African cuisine? So he challenged us in the school to say, I would wish to see you promoting African cuisine in the school, not only the European cuisine. So that is a challenge that we took very seriously, to heart, and to say that we are going to work on that. Chef Lena was one of the very first staff that we had in our culinary arts kitchen, and this work of African cuisine fell on her shoulders. So when we first told her that, Lena, you're going to develop a curriculum on this and a program on this, she wasn't very convinced. She thought I'm out of my mind. And I said, no, it's going to happen whether we like it or not. At BIHC, when we say we do, and we walk the talk. We don't mince our words. So we were able to put a team from the school, but also a team from the industry. And they themselves chose who to have from the industry. And we started having this conversation, discussion, doing small write-up and, ideas and thinking and all that. And it grew and grew and grew and grew to the extent that now it became a reality. So the last 4 years, Lena and her staff, while Chris may have his European kitchen there, we have an African kitchen on the other side. So we have 2 separate kitchens just to challenge ourselves as a school. And Lena is head of that unit. And what she has been doing is, as part of the curriculum, where Mr. Irungu, our head of academics, is part of the curriculum of the school now, our term 5 students, because we have 6 terms in this school. Of the 6 terms, 4 terms in the school and 2 terms outside. And the final term 5, before they go out for their final internship, they would have to, as a part of their whole term, that whole semester, is to prepare for African cuisine night. So the African cuisine is something that is a highlight of our calendar every semester, every term, and we have done this now for the last 4 years. So January this year, we were in Dubai. Our school was participating in a competition in Dubai because we believe in exposing our kids globally. So while in Dubai, Tim, myself, and Alois were having breakfast, and I said to both of them that later on this year, before the end of the year, we should organize our own competition called African Cuisine. And typical them, they thought this old man is crazy. He's there again trying to push us to the wall. But they also know that when we say we do things, we do it. And the 2 of them started the discussion with others in the school. Lena, unfortunately, was sick for quite a bit of time this year, but thank God she's back in one piece and very strong. So they started discussing again about this competition, and we started talking to the industry. There was the Hotel and Catering Association meeting in February in Mombasa, in Diani, and we told them this is what we want to do. They thought it was a very good idea, and in fact, they suggested do it in October because this week is the World Chef Week or day. So it was good timing also to do this. And they started working very hard to prepare for this. So I really, really want to thank Alois, Lena, and Tim, and then the management of the school, who headed by Irungu and the others, Asha, Billy, and Chris. They worked very hard to make this a reality. So it's also very coincidence that this week, deliberately, is the whole midterm for the school. So the students are not here and we have the space. to be able to use the kitchen and use the facilities. So again, it's about timing and getting it very right. So we are here. Why are we here? We're not here just to compete. Competing, winning and losing is part of life, but for me that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is about we celebrating what Alois and Lena said, about our heritage, about our culture, about our hospitality, and about who we are as people. We are people who should be very proud of who we are, what we have, and what we can be able to do. We want our friends from the rest of the world, when they come to this continent, to celebrate this continent. But we from the continent must be proud of ourselves, must be sure of ourselves, must have confidence of ourselves. We talk about tourism, we talk about Kenya being the home of hospitality. Regionally, all the countries are going to compete, and they're already competing with Kenya in this industry. And if we are not very careful, we would be left living on the past glory. Kenya has 43 ethnic tribes. Just imagine how big that is. And imagine what each of those cultures has. And imagine what would it look like if we put all those cultures into this table and say, this is what they can all do. What we have traditionally is what we should be very proud of. The question is, with technology and with knowledge and with research and innovation, we can make things much better. And that's what Professor Magoha wanted. He says, bring infusion, bring innovation in what you do. If it is that ugali, if it is that irio, if it is that mukimo, if it is that chapati, if that free-range chicken the young lady talked about there, how are we going to make them, people wanting to eat? But just writing recipes of 43 different ethnic groups in how they cook, the ingredients they use, the spices they use. Just imagine, you young people, you can do research in many of those things, and you can write books, you can write menu books, you can write stories, you can write many things, even your dissertation for your examination. There are many things that we can do. So the question is, this year, it was meant to be round 1, which is Kenya. We have now 18 schools. We had closed at 14 3 or 4 days ago. Yesterday there were 3 and there's 1 more today. We said we don't have the capacity. The problem we have as Kenyans is we are last minute everything. You were invited almost 2 months ago, but some of you waited until yesterday to bring your students here. Are we on the way? We are coming. You don't know the other person whether I have the room to accommodate these kids, do I have enough kitchen, do I have these things? We don't think of these things. So planning is very important, especially for mentors na walimu. Hiyo lazima tujifundishe tabia mzuri na si tabia mbaya. Na nasema kwa uzuri, sisemi kwa ubaya. Okay, it's about planning. Because these kids, they want to come and enjoy, have fun. And that's what I'm asking you to do. Have fun, enjoy yourself in what you're going to do the next 3 or 4 days. But it's supposed to be learning. And I'm very happy that some of the chefs and GMs and others in the industry have agreed to have master classes, to train you, to talk to you, to give you courage and to give you motivation in what we are doing. And this is what we need to do as older people, to mentor the young people, because they are not only the future, they are their present. Today, we must give them the space, give them the support that they require. So this competition was organized not to just have winners and losers. No, that's not the idea. The idea is to come here, participate, learn, create friendship, and we create a different excitement, a different buzz. Tourism in this country will not be built by the ministers, and the minister will be here on Friday. She will be our chief guest, and I'm very happy she agreed. It's we here who are going to build. Who is going to build Kenya? It is we in this room and many others, ordinary citizens, that can make difference to build the country. It's not about the president or the ministers or the CSAs or, I don't know, permanent secretaries and all that. We are the people. We are the ones to build our nation. And we want to build a good nation. We want to build a nation so these young men and women can enjoy to be part and parcel of this country of theirs. So I just want to tell you, thank you for accepting our invitation. Thank you for being here. I want to thank the judges. The judges, again, as has been explained, some of them are local Kenyans, but there are few that have come from outside the country. Again, on our request, they could spare their time. A whole week to be here is not easy for many of them. But because they also respect us and they were able to accept our invitation, and I cannot say enough thank you to all of you who came from outside. And even those who are from within the country for having taken time off from their schedule to be here, we don't take that for granted also. Kwa hivyo tunasema asanteni sana. So, look, we are here for 5 days. Please enjoy yourself. BHC is here to listen to you, to support you while you are our guest. But at the same time, we are very happy to have independent judges that will choose for whatever they need to choose without fear of contradiction, that they will not support, favor BHC in the one area that we are in. On Friday, we'll have the Minister for Education, who will be our chief guest. At the same time, CS Miano, so she has kindly agreed to be our chief guest. At the same time, we'll also have the board led by its chair, Mr. Some, from Tourism Fund and their CEO. Tourism Fund has been one of our major sponsors, today being represented here by a representative of the CEO. But the CEO and the board will be here on Friday. And on Friday, we want the head of your institutions to come. So please, mentors, talk to your heads of institutions. We have invited them. We'll remind them tomorrow and day after. But please invite them because we want to celebrate with them. You being here for us is very, very important. And we want them all to be here as we celebrate the end of this event. It will not be the last. This will be the first. We hope next year this become an annual event. So we have the Kenyan event around this time in April or May, and then we have the Africa one around October like now, because we want to go Pan-African. And I'm happy that we have two stages. We have the schools, and then we have the industry, and this is what we want to do. For this year, for the industry, we'll only have one outside organization from outside Kenya, and that is Ethiopia, Skylight Hotel or Ethiopian Airways. They are the largest hotel on the African continent with 1,124 rooms in Addis, and they will be joining us because BHC has the relations with them. We helped to train 900 of their staff out of 1,200 for about 8 months period last year and this year in Addis Ababa, where we sent 15 Kenyans who went to Ethiopia to train them in 4 key areas of security, front office, F&B, and housekeeping. 900 of their staff for a period of 8 months. And it was very interesting learnings for us as a small organization, but we are also equal to the task. So this is an area where we want to promote also, where the school does consultancy for the industry. We are now in Zambia consulting for a small hotel that needs to be supported with management. So we sent a GM to go and work there for 6 months as a consultant to try also address those issues. This is something that we are very happy to do for institutions that want to look into this area. So I just want to say with all those many words, this afternoon was meant to welcome you, to thank you for coming, and to say that now we are ready and ready for the competition. Please, like I said before, it's not about winning or losing. It will come with time. Recently, and TVET are not here. I don't know if someone from TVET now, this afternoon. The DG of TVET, which many of our schools fall under, apart from the universities and colleges, have their world skills competition, national, Africa, and global. And recently, only this September, the World Skills Global competition took place in France, and we had students from a number of our institutions, and I'm very happy that they came back. Okay, they didn't win, but they participated globally. Now, the Africa one will be in April next year in Zambia, and a number of our schools will be going. So we just need to prepare and train our people, so the skills will come, and we'll be able to do well in the future. So this particular one, it will become hopefully an annual event that we want you to own, for you to become part of it, and for you to take part in it, and to say that this is what we want, to upskill our skills. When we invited you about 2 months ago, people were very positive, and I think with the numbers here is an affirmation that this is something that we needed as a country and as a community, and I cannot thank you enough. So with all those many words, I say thank you very much, God bless you, and we look forward to seeing you on Friday, but even during the week as the events are happening. And thank you for those people from the industry who have agreed to mentor and by doing masterclass to these young people. Thank you, Boma Hotel, for having agreed to host. Boma Hotel has agreed to host all the students and the mentors without us paying them, which we never believed, but the reality is that they are one of the competitors. Kilimanjaro Greengrocers Image uniforms for having the uniform for the chefs. We're very excited. When you wear them tomorrow, you look very nice. Matmos, Silverside Butchery, Nema Livestock, Mugoya Vegetable, Lemoforage, Succeed in Africa, KHS, Domain Kenya, Devries, Beverex Africa, Kenya Nut, Wine Shop, Africa Originals, Buyaki Holding, Samoa, Myers, True Foods, Capwell Industries Limited, and Chef Banis for having contributed to the success of this event. But I already said it has already succeeded. The fact that the participants are here, that's more than anything for me. So thank you very much, and God bless you. And team, you have the floor back.
Thank you very much. Our next guest is representing our platinum sponsor, Tourism Fund. I think over the last about 2 years, we've done some exceptional work with Tourism Fund, trying to touch communities and specifically professionals in the industry who are working and are looking for skills development and are unable to follow the traditional pathways. So join me as I introduce Mr. Willis Ondiek, who's the head of the Secretariat, representing the CEO of Tourism Fund, Mr. David K. Mwangi, to share his remarks on behalf of the CEO.
Thank you very much, Tim. Boma, thank you for having me. It's a privilege to be here. As has been said, I'll be very brief. I'm just representing the CEO. And as has been pointed out by the director, the CEO and our chairman will actually be here on Friday, and you will probably hear more from them. I will join the previous speakers in acknowledging that this opportunity is very opportune for celebrating our culture. The students who are here, coming from different colleges, are actually helping us to unearth all that we have out there that we actually need to celebrate. I will also indicate that it is a good opportunity, like has been said, to actually nurture the talent, and by extension, it is also helping us to up the standard of service in the sector. And it is for this reason, actually, that Tourism Fund finds it very necessary to support events like this. You've heard, as I was being introduced, that Tourism Fund is actually on the go when it comes to trying to support upskilling of those who are already in the industry, which is part of our core mandate, among others that you probably know, including setting up colleges, sponsoring and funding different institutions that today are driving tourism, KUC there being one of them. And we are also supporting KTB to ensure that marketing of the destination is being done across the board. We are supporting Tourism Police Unit to ensure that the security is intact in the tourism sector. We are also supporting the emergency responses and communication during crisis, something that probably is what brought us very close to Boma, because that is what Boma is also known for. Beyond all this, I just needed to point out that we need to acknowledge we have 2,679 TVET institutions. Of all those institutions, about 1,837 in one way or the other is touching on tourism training. And Director, I would be very happy to see that this list expands. so that we are at least beyond the 18 that I'm hearing. We sponsored to try to touch every corner of the country so that we can bring out all those talents from whichever quarter to celebrate all the 46 ethnic groups, their cuisine, and what they are able to do in the country. We are deliberate on this, and I want to believe with Boma taking the lead, we are going to work with everybody. I used to be in the world of standardizing training and institutions. I'm one of the few classifiers around. I think those with whom we are in the industry know. And I would point out this. During the time we were doing this work of standardizing training in colleges, we had around 386 that were colleges worth talking about. I'm glad a few of them are here. Kibondeni, you need to pat yourself on the back. KUC, you need to pat yourself on the back. TUC, you need to pat yourself on the back. I can see most of the colleges that were worth visiting, worth having your student or your sister or your brother training in, coming here. They have seen it ahead, but I would really love to see the 1,837 colleges that in one way or the other, at different levels of qualification, are touching on hospitality and tourism. That is what Tourism Fund is watching for several reasons. Reason number one, it will help, as we have said, to bring out talent. Reason number two, because we are fast losing our culture, we are fast losing our standards, I think due to generational change. It would be very good that the mentors are actually tied to students who are training today so that we don't lose what we already have. I think we know what is going on and how casual the current generation is. Not in a bad way, but we would like that the quality that we've had with the older generation is actually passed on intact, more so from standards point of view. Another key thing that I think we shouldn't lose out is the fact that by us doing this, we are bit by bit pushing the level and quality of standards up. And for everybody here, what we need to take home is that as Tourism Fund, that is what we are up to. That is our mission at the end of the day. For those who know what our traditional mandate has been since 1969, when we were set, it is to build capacity so that the quality service in the sector, in the destination, is actually somewhere. We've been known for it. Somehow we diluted it, especially in the mid-90s, but we need to recover. For those of us who had a stint in standardization, our mission then was actually to ensure that we bring back the glory that we had in the 70s and the 80s. So, Director, we look forward to still working with you. We look forward to sponsoring more of this, and I hope you will be careful enough to make sure that other colleges also don't come up with this to more or less compete and divide our attention. So maybe the formula I would suggest is, can we have what is a real one national, a real one international trust, where you take the lead, but you're working with the rest. Thank you, and I am looking forward to, like has been said, not to celebrate winners, not to maybe identify losers, but to actually enjoy the game of our diversity. Thank you.
Thank you, Willis. I'd like to introduce someone from TVETA to share the remarks on behalf of the DG, Ms. Bibiana. She's the Deputy Director of Outreach Services. Not our first time at BIT, definitely, so karibu.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for inviting us to attend this competition. On behalf of our Director General, Dr. Kipkirui Langat, Mine is to say this is a good idea. Coming from France, where we participated in the World Skills International Competition, I think we have a lot to talk about and a lot to review so that we compete internationally in the way they do it out there. We are still behind in terms of skills, in terms of expertise that is required from our trainers, in terms of equipment. So as the hospitality sector, I think we need to take this conversation a little bit higher so that we get to meet the standards that are out there. We are not there yet. If you look at China, you look at Japan, you look at Singapore, they were topping all the skill areas. They were top-notch. They trained their students to the international standards. So skills is everything there. A little bit of theory, but more of practice. But our system, we are doing more of theory and less practice. So we need to change our mindset. We need to change our curriculum, and we must train our trainers. I hope our Director General said it. I hope you're going to start having this conversation seriously so that when Germany comes for students or our skilled personnel, they get the best. Not that they go out there to be retrained so that they fit into the job market. So I am happy that you're starting this competition here. I hope your test projects are better, those who are going to judge, and let it be to the international standards that is expected so that we keep improving on what is expected. We had your two officers, your staff, that joined us in France. I hope they're going to share their experience with this team if they have that opportunity so that we improve on what is expected. So mine is to appreciate. Let's have the competitions. We're having a team going to Zambia next year in March for Africa competition, but you're going to have these competitions on yearly basis. So the institutions that are here, when TVETA gives you a call to participate in these competitions, please write back, bring your staff, bring your students, so that we can also be a giant in the skills competition the way we do it in athletics. Thank you so much, and may God bless you.
So we're about to finish in a few seconds, but again, like I promised, I always have gifts. And Dr. Abbas mentioned some of our sponsors, right? Were you guys paying attention? And it's after lunch. Who's our platinum sponsor? Random hands, random hands. It was supposed to be a hand. Instructions, okay? Good, next question. We have a very unique sponsor that provides jam. And if you walked into this room, I'm sure you saw a banner or a teardrop. Yes. Yes, what's the name of that sponsor? Zesta is the jam. True Foods. Great. So you get a package courtesy of BHC. Awesome. We also have another sponsor that's hosting all the competitors. Competitors? Boma Hotel. Thank you. When Alois spoke on stage, he mentioned that one of our partners, I don't think he mentioned the partner, but he mentioned that they are giving out a scholarship for a certain, where hands up? He mentioned that they will be giving a scholarship for a certain qualification. That qualification has how many levels? How many levels? I need to pick a lady. So I'm seeing there's a lady there with glasses. Alois, is she right? No. I saw your hand up. I'm hunting for ladies. Yes? No? Come on. So the guys, 6? Someone said 6. No? Yes, sir? 4 it is. So congratulations. And my last question, which is extremely simple. We are doing this in honor of one great gentleman. I'm not even done with my question. And this great gentleman happened to be a cabinet secretary, right? I want you to give me the specific years he was a cabinet secretary. Yes, sir. Sorry? 7 years. That's actually true. So congratulations. So one of the last things I want us to do before Chef Chris gives a vote of thanks is officially launch the competition. Funny enough, if you read the briefing document, we actually called it an experience, right? It's a 4-day experience, actually 5 days if you consider today. And we want you to have as much fun as possible and as much connection as you can build over the next few days. So I'll ask you to kindly stand, and I'll ask you to help me count down. So on the screens parallel to these 2 walls, you'll see a countdown starting from 5. And I want us to do it with a lot of energy. So before the countdown gets on the screen, right, it was already there. I want to hear a 5, 4, 3 to start with a lot of energy. Okay? So 5, 4, 3. Okay, pause. Good. Okay, great. So we're about to start again. So, media team. Great. Are you guys ready? Okay, so I'm counting down 1, 2, 3, and then we can start. So 1, 2, 3, let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. So thank you. You may have your seats. I'll invite Chris to give a vote of thanks.
Thank you, Tim. I've got the dubious pleasure of thanking everyone, so if I miss anyone out, I apologise, but I think I've captured most people, so I'll be very brief. I'd like to make a vote of thanks, first of all, to the Tourism Fund for funding this operation. That's much appreciated by all the schools, so thank you, sir. Thank you to Dr. Abbas, our esteemed director, who has bullied us, who's cajoled us, who's whatever, but thank you for your inspiration, and this is your inspiration for this, and we thank you for that, so thank you, sir. To our judges, our Kenyan judges, thank you so much for coming for the F&B. I'd like to thank the ones that flew halfway around the world. For Mauritius, thank you, Annabelle. To our Chief Judge, Sean, who our past and history go back way, way, way back, but thank you, Sean is the head of the culinary department in BHMS in Lucerne in Switzerland, so thank you. Thank you, Chef Bernice, one of our sponsors and who will be given an award, so thank you. A special thanks goes to the organising committee, especially, there's been a lot of people organising, but especially Alois, who's not listening to me. To Alois, and especially Lena, because I know those two have put most of this together with support of others, but they're the driving force behind this, so thank you for that. I know you've put a lot of effort in, so thank you. And finally, thank you to all our young contestants. You're the most important ones here, I think, who will be competing and being supported by the mentors. I hope everyone has a great week. And I wish everyone good luck. I know, because I take students to competitions, and I know it's quite stressful. And starting tomorrow, it will be stressful. But just remember, just to enjoy. It's not about winning. As many people have said here, it's not about winning. It's about enjoying, taking part, getting experience, meeting new friends, I hope. Not causing too much hassle at night when everybody's gone to bed. Remember, if you're staying in the hotel, so we know. So thank you. Enjoy the experience. And we look forward to a very successful competition. So thank you and welcome all.
Thank you, Chris. So one last favor as we leave. I'd like us to take a group photo. So I'll ask that we exit right outside this building, led by, of course, the judges and our chief guest, followed by the participants and the mentors. We'll take a quick group photo, and then we'll guide you on what to do next. Okay. Again, thank you very much. Just a reminder, follow us on social media, and you'll get to see a snippet of each and every day and what we'll be doing as we have an experience. Karibuni sana.